In this book review, you get a concise overview of a self-help classic. We all have aspirations, whether it's a prestigious career, a loving family, or a profound sense of personal achievement. At times, we may feel that our goals are beyond our reach. However, there is a way to unlock our hidden potential. To maximize our abilities and improve our lives, we must cultivate the right habits. In the following summaries, we will explore the concepts presented in one of the most influential self-help books of all time, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, by Stephen R. Covey. This book has consistently topped bestseller lists for years and is also the most popular title in the Blinkist library. The reason for its enduring popularity becomes evident as we delve into its insightful advice and practical examples, offering guidance on taking control of your routines and establishing a successful lifestyle. In order to succeed, we must cultivate habits aligned with good principles. Imagine you're visiting a foreign city for the first time. The streets are unfamiliar, and the signs are in a language you don't understand. How will you find your way around? And how will you reach your destination? If you ask a stranger on the street, you may receive a few tips like, turn right, or, take this bus. And sure, these may help in the short term. But eventually, you'll end up lost again. A more effective strategy would be to find a map, right? With an accurate picture of the world around you, you can find your own way, again and again. Well, navigating life is similar. While certain small actions can be useful, it's far more valuable to grasp a few fixed and guiding principles and make a habit of following them. When author Stephen Covey looked back at 200 years of self-help advice, he observed an interesting pattern. He found that most advice that is given followed one of two paradigms. The first is the personality ethic. This paradigm argues that success comes from learning a series of tricks and techniques. It says that if you talk the right way or complete the right tasks, you'll achieve your goals. This advice is attractive, but it often leads to rather superficial changes that don't make a fundamental difference. The second paradigm is different. It's based on the character ethic. This approach argues that there are underlying principles to success. These principles aren't specific to any one situation. They're deep, unchanging truths about the world. If we align our inner character with these rules, we'll achieve lasting results. So how does this paradigm work in practice? Well, let's say you want a happier marriage. The personality ethic would tell you to adopt a new communication style or take a certain kind of vacation. In contrast, the character ethic encourages you to work on yourself. It says you must become the kind of person who has a good marriage by cultivating a character based on principles like fairness, empathy, and trust. Of course, this is easier said than done. If you want to develop an inner character based on good principles, then you need to change the way you consistently perceive and approach the world around you. In short, making changes based on the character paradigm requires that you cultivate good habits. In the following blinks, we'll take you through these habits one at a time. Assume proactive control over your reactions to the world. A question that has puzzled scientists, philosophers, and people for ages is, what defines your individuality? Some argue that genetics and human evolution, as well as our DNA, are the determining factors in our lives. Others emphasize the role of our parents, contending that our upbringing shapes us the most. Some insist it's our environment and immediate circumstances that hold the greatest sway. In reality, none of these explanations are adequate. They all lean towards determinism, implying that our lives are dictated by external forces. Highly effective individuals, on the other hand, adopt a different perspective on their relationship with the world. They understand that, although we cannot control everything, we can control our own responses. This leads us to the first habit. A critical distinction between humans and other animals is our capacity for self-awareness. Animals typically react to external stimuli in a pre-programmed manner. Humans, conversely, have the ability to pause, reflect, and choose their responses. Being proactive grants you the freedom to decide how you engage with the world and the power to shape your own destiny. For example, you can let unexpected rain ruin your plans for a picnic, or you can take a proactive approach, focusing on the positives instead. Rather than dwelling on the weather, you can channel your energy into enjoying time with friends despite the rain. This approach is effective even in dire circumstances. Consider Viktor Frankl, a renowned psychiatrist who endured life in a World War II concentration camp. While his captors controlled all external conditions, he realized that he maintained authority over his responses. Instead of losing hope, he spent his days envisioning a future in which he could teach others how to survive such horrors. This proactive response empowered him to persevere and later become an educator. With practice, you can develop the ability to actively shape your reactions to challenges. When confronted with obstacles at work or in your personal life, carefully consider your course of action. Avoid succumbing to immediate instincts. Instead, step back, analyze the root causes of the problem, and channel your energy into positively influencing what you can. Initiate every task with a specific goal in mind. Let's start with a somewhat introspective exercise. Picture a scenario where it's 3 years in the future, and regrettably, you've passed away. It's indeed a somber thought. However, at this moment, all your friends, family, and colleagues have assembled for your funeral. Each person takes a turn approaching the podium to deliver a eulogy. What do you want them to say about you? This might be challenging to contemplate, but it's also enlightening. Suddenly, the trivial details of everyday life fade into the background, and your true priorities come into focus. You start thinking about your relationships, your achievements, and the legacy you want to leave behind. As this sobering exercise illustrates, considering your ultimate outcome is a crucial aspect of organizing your life. This is why highly effective people habitually plan ahead, and this leads us to the second habit: commencing every task with a specific goal in mind. Whenever you undertake an action, whether it's significant or minor, you're effectively performing it twice. This is because before you physically execute a task, you must first envision it by creating a plan. These plans can be brief and informal, like mentally noting a list of household chores, or they can be comprehensive and detailed, like a meticulously crafted business strategy. Regardless of the task's size, it's crucial to contemplate the future because it aids in navigating the present. Consider the process of building your dream house. Before raising walls or putting up the roof, it's wise to create a blueprint. Without a clear understanding of what you're constructing, the construction process would be chaotic and disastrous. It would lead to costly errors, wastage of valuable materials, and probable dissatisfaction with the outcome. This principle can be readily applied to short-term projects. In a professional context, it's prudent to outline your weekly schedule in advance and establish clear objectives to accomplish by the end of each quarter. Nonetheless, the full advantages of this habit become evident when planning for the long term. To do so, visualize your desired life by composing a personal mission statement. Engage in deep introspection and put in writing what you genuinely aspire to achieve, the values you want to uphold, and your definition of genuine success. Utilize this document as a gauge of your progress and as a guiding compass for decision-making. When your desired destination is crystal clear, it's far easier to remain on the right path. Put first things first. Imagine it's 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, and you find yourself in the office. The phone is ringing incessantly, the printer is jammed, you have a report that needs writing, and a project plan that requires drafting. And to add to the chaos, your boss is knocking at your door, eager to talk to you. In such a scenario, how do you decide where to start? Even when you have clear goals in mind, determining the right sequence of steps can be challenging. This is where the third habit, known as putting first things first, comes into play. In other words, it involves prioritizing tasks based on their urgency and importance. Now, let's discuss how to implement this habit effectively. Numerous approaches to time management exist, with some people advocating the use of to-do lists, while others emphasize scheduling tasks in advance. However, the real key to working efficiently is organizing your efforts based on priority. One valuable tool for this is a time management matrix. A time management matrix is essentially a grid in which you categorize all your tasks according to two critical dimensions: urgency and importance. To create one, take a piece of paper and draw a 2x2 grid consisting of 4 boxes. The top left box represents quadrant I, which contains tasks that are both urgent and important, such as handling a sudden crisis that cannot be ignored. The top right box is designated as Quadrant 2, where you place tasks that are important but not necessarily urgent, like long-term projects focused on building client relationships. The bottom left box corresponds to Quadrant 3, which encompasses tasks that are urgent but not highly crucial, such as answering the phone. Finally, the bottom right box is designated as Quadrant IV, intended for tasks that are neither urgent nor important, such as playing solitaire. Once you've categorized your tasks into these quadrants, you'll gain clarity on where to direct your efforts. While items in Quadrant I are important, it's the tasks in Quadrant 2 that require special attention. These are often overlooked because they don't carry an immediate sense of urgency. However, they are crucial and often offer substantial efficiency benefits. Tending to them early can help prevent new items from escalating to Quadrant I. Of course, it's essential to recognize that no one can manage everything independently. Sometimes, prioritizing tasks means delegating those that don't require your direct involvement. However, it's crucial not to micromanage in the process. Rather than assigning tasks, focus on requesting specific results. Ultimately, the outcome is what matters most when it comes to efficiency. Always look for the win-win scenario. Imagine you're attending a championship football game, the culmination of an entire season. In this scenario, there can only be one victor and one loser. One team celebrates with the trophy, while the other departs empty-handed, regardless of how well they played. Thankfully, not all aspects of life mirror this competitive structure, where a single entity must prevail, and the rest must concede defeat. In fact, with the application of collaborative thinking, most situations can lead to mutually beneficial outcomes. This is precisely why effective individuals incorporate the fourth habit, ensuring that everyone involved achieves a positive result. Throughout life, we navigate our relationships based on certain paradigms that influence our interactions. For many people, the predominant paradigm is a win-lose perspective. Within this framework, they view every interaction, be it personal, business-related, or otherwise, as a competition. In this competitive landscape, getting what you want implies that others cannot attain their desires. While this win-lose paradigm may be suitable in specific contexts, it can prove detrimental in others. It essentially transforms every exchange into a rivalry, transforming potential partners into adversaries. This fosters distrust and discord, ultimately causing both parties to lose. For example, consider a sales team in which only the highest performing individual receives a bonus, while the rest receive nothing. This win-lose arrangement motivates each member to focus solely on their personal interests. Individuals may hide potential leads or, even worse, undermine their colleagues. The outcome? Fewer overall sales. Fortunately, there is an alternative approach, the win-win paradigm. This perspective discards the competitive mindset in favor of collaboration. It aims for outcomes that benefit all parties involved. In the context of the sales team, it might mean offering bonuses when every team member reaches their individual sales goals. This shift to a win-win arrangement fosters open communication, teamwork, and ultimately results in more sales and greater overall job satisfaction. So, how can you consistently seek win-win scenarios? One way is to adopt an abundance mentality. This mindset does not view positive things such as success, happiness, fulfillment, or even profits as scarce resources. Instead, it recognizes that there's an abundance of these benefits for everyone. When you understand that there is always more value to be shared, you'll be more inclined to explore collaborative opportunities to attain it. With a win-win mentality, your greatest triumphs come when you realize that you're all working together on the same team. Enhance your relationships through a deeper understanding of others. Imagine a scenario where you're struggling with your vision. Everything appears blurry, making it challenging to identify friends even when they're just 10 steps away. It's clear that it's time to visit the optometrist. You're familiar with the routine, reading letters off a chart while the doctor tests various lenses until finding the right fit for you. Now, let's consider an alternative scenario. Instead of examining your eyes and providing tailored solutions, the optometrist simply hands you her glasses, saying, "These worked for me." In this case, your vision would remain unclear, and you'd likely seek a different optometrist. While this example may sound absurd in the context of vision care, it serves as a valuable metaphor for communication. Many people tend to offer solutions without fully understanding the underlying problem. In contrast, highly effective individuals employ a distinct approach encapsulated in the fifth habit: they listen before they speak. Effective communication forms the foundation of meaningful relationships. Regrettably, most individuals concentrate their efforts on refining their speaking skills, aiming to make themselves understood. However, this approach only represents half of the equation. To nurture genuine personal connections, one must also focus on understanding others. Achieving this understanding entails mastering the art of listening. Listening surpasses mere auditory reception. It involves comprehending another person's thoughts and feelings on a profound level. To accomplish this, empathetic listening is a valuable technique. Empathetic listening demands intellectual and emotional engagement with another person's frame of reference. It requires not only hearing their words but also uncovering the underlying emotions. A practical way to apply empathetic listening is by postponing the offering of advice until you've gained a comprehensive understanding of the other person's message. Rather than responding to their story with one of your own, try pinpointing the emotions they are attempting to convey. This practice is known as reflecting, and can be as simple as acknowledging their feelings by saying, "That sounds frustrating," or "You believe this is essential." This approach keeps the conversation centered on the individual you seek to understand. Empathetic listening is not a shortcut or a trick. It necessitates a genuine interest in others and demands time, effort, and practice to master effectively. However, if you adopt this approach, people will recognize and value your attentive nature. In return, they may respond with empathy and respect, further enriching your relationships. Over time, your interactions will become more open, fulfilling, and profound. Unlock powerful synergy by promoting the free exchange of ideas. Imagine taking a stroll through a lush rainforest teeming with life and natural beauty. What is it that makes this environment so vibrant and thriving? Is it the birds perched in the trees? The busy ants on the forest floor? Perhaps it's the dappled sunlight filtering through the lush canopy overhead? In reality, it's not attributed to a single element but rather the intricate interconnectedness of these factors. It's the complex web of interactions in the ecosystem that allows such environments to flourish. In both the natural world and human relationships, the whole often transcends the sum of its individual components. This phenomenon is known as synergy, and highly effective individuals are consistently open to harnessing its potential. This brings us to the sixth habit: creating powerful synergies by fostering open idea exchange. Synergy can be challenging to define, but put simply, it's the creative energy that emerges when diverse individuals come together in harmony. Each person is unique, with their own strengths and weaknesses. When groups collaborate effectively, they have the capacity to amplify each other's strengths while compensating for their weaknesses, resulting in a more outstanding collective outcome. Synergy can manifest in numerous contexts. For instance, picture a classroom where students are encouraged to engage in open dialogue and freely exchange ideas. What transpires in such an environment? Some students will pose thought-provoking questions, others will offer informative answers, and yet others will elevate the discussion with personal insights. In the end, the class may diverge from the initial lesson plan, but everyone will leave with a deeper understanding. To foster a culture of synergistic energy, it's essential to establish a safe and respectful environment. This entails applying other habits such as adopting a win-win mindset and practicing empathetic listening. When these behaviors become the norm, people are more inclined to share their thoughts, build upon each other's contributions, and appreciate the diverse skills each person brings to the table. This approach has proven successful in various scenarios. For example, David Lilienthal, who led the Atomic Energy Commission in the United States following World War II, assembled a team of highly capable experts. Although each member held strong opinions that sometimes clashed, Lilienthal organized weeks of group meetings where team members could openly share their hopes, concerns, and rationales for their program. These candid discussions fostered an atmosphere of trust and mutual understanding. Ultimately, the Commission cultivated an exceptionally creative and productive culture. Much like a rich ecosystem comprised of interconnected species, the most productive groups are those in which members engage and support each other, allowing the magic of synergy to flourish. Prioritize self-care by making time for yourself. Imagine yourself as a diligent lumberjack who ventures into the forest each day to fell trees. Initially, the first few trees fall easily with just a few strikes of your trusty axe. However, over time, you observe a troubling trend. Each tree requires more and more effort to bring down. By the end of the week, toppling a single tree consumes an entire afternoon. What's gone wrong? It's a simple oversight. While you've been diligently working, you've neglected to maintain your tools. Your once sleek and sharp axe has now become dull and ineffective. This parable underscores a crucial point. Even the most driven and dedicated individuals will eventually face burnout if they fail to take breaks. Consequently, the seventh and final habit of highly effective people centers on rest and rejuvenation, making the time to care for yourself. In your pursuit of aspirations, it's easy to become so engrossed in external actions that you forget to nurture your own well-being. This oversight is perilous because without a well-maintained body, mind, and spirit, your other effective habits will begin to deteriorate. Thus, it's essential to allocate time and energy to consistently rejuvenate yourself across 4 distinct dimensions. The first dimension is the physical aspect, which involves tending to your body through regular exercise, proper nutrition, and ample restful sleep. Cultivating these healthy routines bestows the endurance required for sustained performance. The second dimension relates to the spiritual realm. Renewing this dimension entails self-reflection, connecting with your values, and appreciating the beauty in the world around you. Dedicate a few moments each day to contemplation, prayer, or mindful meditation to maintain your inner balance and resilience. The third dimension revolves around the mental aspect. Just as your body necessitates regular physical activity, your brain benefits from consistent mental exercise. Stay mentally agile by continually acquiring new knowledge. Engage in acquiring new skills, read diverse books, or embark on learning a foreign language. These endeavors not only enrich your life but also keep you connected with the ever-evolving world. The fourth and final dimension pertains to the social and emotional facets of your life. Embracing efficiency doesn't require sacrificing your social connections. Quite the contrary. It's vital to nurture both your personal and professional relationships. Regularly check in with loved ones, engage in conversations with colleagues, and make time for play with your children. By committing to rejuvenating each of these dimensions, you'll consistently reap the rewards. With this habit firmly integrated into your routine, you'll always be prepared to act as an effective individual. Key takeaways. The main message of these insights. Genuine self-improvement doesn't involve memorizing quick fixes or hacks that only apply in specific situations. Instead, the most effective way to enhance your life and become more successful is by developing strong habits rooted in guiding principles. As an effective individual, you should take proactive control of how you respond to the world. Initiate every task with a clear desired outcome. Prioritize tasks by putting the most important things first. Always seek win-win solutions. Strengthen your relationships by truly understanding others. Cultivate powerful synergy by promoting the open exchange of ideas. Ensure you make time for self-care. When you internalize these habits and commit to nurturing them over time, you will gradually begin to enjoy the benefits of a more effective life. Practical advice. Continually climb the upward spiral. It's essential to acknowledge your achievements and commit to ongoing self-improvement. Maintain awareness of your self-improvement journey by keeping track of your successes. Create a list of qualities you wish to develop and regularly assess your progress week by week. Recognizing your accomplishments will boost your morale and inspire you to keep progressing. Thank you for embarking on this journey of knowledge and inspiration with us. If you found value in our insights and seek more wisdom from the world's most impactful books, consider supporting our channel. Please don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to one of the finest book summary channels on the web. By doing so, you'll stay tuned for a continuous stream of uplifting, thought-provoking summaries that propel you into action. Let's embark on this quest for growth and enlightenment together. Happy reading! Learning